Starting a little early, a minute early this week. As more people come on here, we'll kind of warm things up. But we got an exciting beer for you to taste virtually with me this week, and it's our double chocolate duck, which is a Imperial Porter, and you're gonna love to hear about this beer. And we did this in June. It sold out very quickly, and we decided to do it again. Now we had our double coconut duck, which was on a couple weeks ago, and it was just flew out, and so we thought we'd bring back the double chocolate duck. So Imperial Porter. Let's talk about it. So we brewed this on a 3rd barrel batch, and it was 10.5 gallons. So this is going to be geared for 10.5 gallons. If you're a home brewer, want to do 5 gallons, just cut everything in half. It'd be pretty close to what we're doing. Or take liberties to make some changes based on the ingredients that you have available to you, and which is what sounds good to you. So this is a 9.8% alcohol by volume beer, 66 IBUs. Original gravity was 1089 and terminal gravity was 1018. So we have 6 malts that we put into this beer. Our base malt is going to be Rahr's Alex 2-row malt, which comes from Alberta, Canada. 24 pounds or 63% of the malt bill. Then we've got some Weirmann's Munich malt, which is 4 pounds or 10.5%. And then we've got some Crystal 45 from Crisp Malting, which is floor malted from England. 2 pounds at 5.3%. Then we also have Crisp's Crystal 120 floor malted darker crystal malt. And there's 2 pounds at 5.3%. We've got 4 pounds of Crisp's chocolate malt, and that's 10.5% of the malt bill, or 4 pounds. And finally, we finish it off with some roasted barley from Crisp, and it's 2 pounds for 5.3%. All of those malts are milled, and they're mashed in to 158 degrees for 1 hour. And that's pretty exciting because you get those bigger sugar molecules. You're going to have a bigger mouthfeel. You're going to have just a more abundance of richness, a little chewy mouthfeel on it, and all the great things. 1 hour, we sparge it with 170 degree water, and that will let us strip all the sugars that are clinging to the grains of the husks of the barley, collect it in our boil kettle, and we're going to boil it for an hour. So once the boil starts, we're going to add 4 ounces of cluster hops, which gives us 50 IBUs. With 30 minutes left in there, we're going to add our next and last hop addition. It's 2 ounces each of UK Goldings and 2 ounces of UK Fuggles. That'll give us the remaining 16 IBUs. And we're going to then transfer into our fermenter at 65 degrees and let it go to 68 using White Labs WLP 002, which is their Fuller's yeast. Ferment for 2 weeks. Take it out of the fermenter and put it in a secondary. At that time, we're going to add 32 ounces of unsweetened Chelaka chocolate. And that's put in there, and it stays in there for 2 weeks at 32 degrees. And then we pull it out of the secondary fermenter, put it in our kegs, and we force carbonate to 1.5 volumes. And then it's ready to drink. So this is pretty exciting. The flavors were spectacular last time we did it, and we're going to try it again. So I'm drinking it out of a growler here that you can see behind me, and I'm using this glass, which is not a Foggy Noggin glass, because obviously I'm not where there is a Foggy Noggin glass. Really rich color, very dark. Nothing shines through it. It's one of the darker colors that you would have. Nice, rich, roasty, unsweetened chocolate aroma. Delicious in every way in the aroma. It makes me really want to take a taste. Rich, smooth, elegant, not sweet, because we're using unsweetened chocolate, so it's got that baker's chocolate kind of flavor. So it's got that rich, chocolatey taste without that sweetness to it. matches really well with that roastiness because we've got a lot of roasted barley and chocolate malts in there. But I'm picking up some of the burnt raisin kind of tones from the crystal malt, which goes well with that chocolate flavor and the roastiness. It's a dessert in a glass. It's really satisfying. It finishes nice and dry, but it has that long. If you ever eat some of that really dark cocoa, like 97, 98% dark chocolate, and that dry feeling gives you in the back of your tongue, down your throat, from that chocolate tone. That's what you're kind of getting from this. And look at that head retention in the glass. It's really good. So there is a nice malty character to it. It's like eating a, I would say this would be like a bran muffin with chocolate chips in there, and maybe a little bit of, maybe there's a hint of coffee, but there's no coffee in this. But a chocolate bran muffin, you get all those rich flavors from that. Maybe it's even, and it's warm, so you get some of those kind of warm bready kind of characters on it. A little bit, maybe some raisins were in that as well. Really, really good. This is a beer that if you had it before, you're going to want it again. If you've never had it, this is one you're going to want. And there's limited quantity, obviously. And so it's $28 for a growler fill, unless you have a growler card. And if you don't have one, this will be a good time to pick one up. Prepaid growler card's $150, but it gives you 12 growler fills. This particular beer is just another square, so it doesn't matter if it's a $16 growler fill or a $28 growler fill. They all count the same on the growler card. So I would, if you're going to into growlers and into picking up Foggy Noggin beer, which I hope you are, a growler card's a great investment for you, especially since in COVID, since we were doing really growler fills in bottles to go. So this is a beer that is limited, and we're only doing Saturday curbside pickup for this weekend. Sorry, any inconvenience for people who are used to getting it on Fridays, but we'll be back the following week with Friday and Saturday. But this weekend only, Saturday only, 4 to 5. So make sure you get your orders placed. You go to foggynogginbrewing.com, hit the beer tab, and all the beers that are available there. I think right now it says Friday and Saturday pickup. We'll be changing it to Saturday only. No Friday pickup this week. Has to be in a Foggy Noggin logoed growler. If you don't have one, we got you covered. You can pick one up and then you'll have it, and we'll just swap it in and out each week as you go along. We got a lot of bottles also that you can pick up, but we have 8 other growlers. So if this is not your kind of beer, we've got a beer for you. Just take a look what's available, and I'm sure you'll find something that'll please your appetite and really give you a reason to want to get some beer for this weekend. You know, it's November. It's a little bit before Thanksgiving. We all need some beer to cheer us up and warm us up through these colder, wetter days that are out there. So Saturday only this week, 4 to 5 pickup. Make sure you pre-order because we send you an invoice. It's all paid. It's a quick pick and up and go on Saturday, and you'll be back home and you can enjoy the beer the rest of the weekend. So who do we have on here watching with us tonight? We've got Kim and Roxanne and Ned and John and Christy and Jackie and Stephanie and Scott and Judy and Corey. And if you got any questions about this beer or how we brewed it, now's your time to ask some questions, and I'll give you. There's no secrets saved here. We'll tell you exactly what I'm thinking and how we did it, and if you have any things that you want to try to do and want my opinion on it, I could be happy to answer that as well. So let's go over the recipe one more time. It's a double chocolate duck, 9.8% alcohol by volume, 66 IBUs. This is a big beer. This is a beer that, you want to make sure if you're going to have a couple of them that you're sitting at home and not going to get behind the car. We did it in a 3rd barrel batch, 10.5 gallons was the size of ours. We used the White Labs WLP 002 Fuller's yeast strain. Original gravity 1089, terminal gravity 1018. We mashed in our grains at 158 and we sparged at 170. So the malts, let's look at these. We've got we have Rars Alex 2-row malt from Alberta, Canada, 63% of our malt bill, 24 pounds. Munich from Weyermann Maltsters in Germany. We use 10.5% or 4 pounds. Then we've got the rest of these are all from Crisp. We've got their Crystal 45, 2 pounds. Crystal 120, 2 pounds. Each of those are 5.3% of the malt bill. We've got their roasted barley, 2 pounds, 5.3% of the malt bill. And then we've got their chocolate malt, 4 pounds or 10.5% of the malt bill. That's all mashed in at 158 for 60 minutes, sparged out at 170, collect the sugars, boil it for 1 hour. We've got 2 hop additions. 60 minutes, we're putting cluster hops in, 4 ounces to give us 50 IBUs. At 30 minutes left, we have 2 hops to put in, 2 ounces each of UK Goldings and UK Fuggles to give us another 16 IBUs. When we're all done with the boil, we put it in our fermenter at 65 degrees, let it raise to 68, and then it stays there for 2 weeks. Transfer it to secondary fermentation, and that's when we add the unsweetened Chelaka chocolate, and 32 ounces for a 3rd barrel batch, so that would be 16 ounces if you're doing a 5-gallon batch. 2 weeks at 32 degrees, transfer it to our kegs, and we force carbonate to 1.5 volumes. The result is absolute deliciousness in a glass. This beer, I mean, look at, you can just see that it's clinging to the glass. It's got so much character, so much body. It's a chewy beer. It's got so much flavor. I mean, this beer will make your weekend special. It's a beer that you're gonna, whatever you're doing, whether you're watching some college football or the Seahawks on Sunday, or if you're doing some yard work, and when you're done, you want to rake in the leaves and then you want to have some beer to reward yourself, or if you just want to cuddle up next to the fire with a good book, this is the beer for you as well. So no matter what your plans are, this is really the beer. It's limited. There's only so much. There's not that much. It's only in growler fills. It needs to be purchased in our Foggy Noggin logoed growlers. And how do you get those? Well, you don't have one, you can order them at the time you're ordering it, and it'll be added to your invoice that you prepay, and when you drive up, it's all taken care of. And you just enjoy yourself and take it home, and whatever beers you get, you'll have a great weekend. You go to the foggynogginbrewing.com website, hit the beer tab, all the details are there. It's only Saturday this week for pickup, 4 to 5 p.m. So get your orders in early before this one runs out. But take a look at all the other beers and Foggy Noggin merchandise, like this really cool hat, and we've got shirts and pint glasses and all kinds of cool things that you might want to have to make your drinking experience even better than it is right now. So that's Friday is not this week, but it is Saturday, 4 to 5 p.m. Saturday only, 4 to 5 p.m. curbside pickup. So make sure when you're doing your orders, you know that it's Saturday pickup, not Friday this week. And let's see, we don't have any questions. We have a number of people who've been joining us. They've been coming and going, and we've got, I think I said Judy and Corey, but if not, thanks for joining us, and Scott. But Double Chocolate Duck, this is a beer that you just really will want to have. And the orders have already been coming in today, so I think we've got about a quarter of the beer available for purchase on Saturday is already pre-sold. So get your orders in quick, foggynogginbrewing.com, beer tab, and all the details are there. If you really get confused, you can always give me a call at 206-553-9223. Saturday only, curbside pickup. Now tomorrow night, we normally do our happy half hour. We'll have it on there, but it's going to be an encore performance. So join it. It's one from a few weeks ago that I think you really enjoy. It was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of great songs on there because it's happened, and we had a lot of good feedback on it. That's how those shows make it to the encore performance. And then next week, join us next Wednesday for another virtual tasting of the featured Effin' Beer of the Week. So I enjoy you. Thanks for joining. And get your orders in now, and we'll see you this Saturday for your curbside pickup. Cheers, everyone. Stay safe.